Hello, welcome to my show. If you're a first-time viewer here, what we like to do is spend our time painting things and spending our time building interesting things to put on canvas. And so today, I thought we'd spend a little bit of time with my canvas here, making some happy art. So for those of you that haven't been here before, I like to use a small palette with a brush that looks like this. And what I'm going to do is spend a little bit of time drawing all the people that are outside. I thought I'd build a nice outdoor landscape. So quickly, let's just take a look. Oh, look, there's all the people that are outside. We did a very good job on this painting today. Nobody's allowed outside because we're in a pandemic. So I want to thank you all for tuning in for my episode today. Thank you. That's about all the Bob Ross you're going to get out of me today. I did get props, palette, canvas, brush. I'll keep the wig, but my goodness, I don't think I could hold that for 2 hours. That would be incredibly difficult. So, welcome to my ridiculous stream today. For those of you that don't understand why I might be wearing this wig, earlier this month, or actually late March, one of my colleagues, his name's Karthik, he lives in India on my team, and he challenged me to get to 250 followers by the end of April. And if I did that, then he said I should do an episode as Bob Ross. And so here we are with me dressed as Bob Ross. So that is what we're doing today. We're still going to be building stuff. We're still going to be building an Alexa scavenger hunt. We're still working through a bunch of code. But this is how I will look the entire episode. Thanks to all of you for the follows. I can't appreciate it enough. And one of the things that I'd love to see some conversation about in the chat is what should our next goal be? I feel like we got to 250 pretty easily. And I would like to think about what we could talk about for 500. So there's two pieces to this. Obviously, what would our deadline be for 500? Probably the end of May seems reasonable to me, just so we're setting our timelines for the end of the month. But then also, what do I have to do? Like, what is the outcome of getting down to 500 followers? So I'd love your thoughts on that. What should be done? Let's be realistic about it. I can't do anything crazy. It has to be able to be done here in the studio. I'm not going to destroy my house or anything. The Lord of Sound thinks at 500 I have to sing the Star Wars theme in Hindi. I don't know how that would work. Oxygen Box wants me to raise Bob Ross from the dead. That's an interesting option also. A live belly flop from a high diving board. I'll let you know, Utah, give me 2. All the pools are closed. So, can't do that unless you're expecting me to just hit the bottom of the pool. Goldzula says I should shave my beard. Actually, the wig that this came with, it also came with a Bob Ross beard. But I figured that if I had my own beard, that was probably fine. Jeff Nunn is asking, did I already have this wig? No, I was being optimistic, and I ordered it before I hit the goal. It felt like we were trending in the right direction, and so I just went ahead and ordered it. And this is, I mean, it's all of it. It's all there. This is all hair. It's pretty good. Yeah, I could maybe I'll sing Annie. That would be something. My voice is nothing to be advertised, but yeah. So this is what we're gonna look like today, and that's just fine. So the thing that I thought we would do in the spirit of Bob Ross is spend a little time on the visuals of the skill that I'm working on. So for those of you that recall, those of you that have been here before, I am building a skill that is meant to be like a weekly puzzle. So you come in and you'll be presented with a game that includes 5 different puzzles. And those puzzles will range from things where you have to go dig into an Instagram feed and find a specific picture. Oh, Ice Cream, Richard Simmons. I could probably use the same wig, just with a headband. Let's see if we can get this straightened out a little bit. Man, it is a good wig though. I'm pretty impressed. And so some of the things that we have to be able to do in this skill are be able to send people pictures sometimes. Like they need to use the image to determine what the puzzle is. And in order to do that, I guess I could probably show this if I jump over to this view. Let's jump over to this. One of the things that I do when I'm building this skill is I have to check and see what kind of data I've created. So I guess the first thing to look at, did I just see screenshots? Oh my gosh. Thank you for that, Jeff Nunn. So in here I have a puzzle table, and this is where I decide what information I'm going to send the user and how. So I have a title for the puzzle, I have a voice response, I have a card response and a screen response, and then finally I have a text response. And that's probably the wrong name. I should call it like SMS response, because it's meant for text messaging. So if I put something in that box, then I'm going to send the user a text message. And then I also have an image field. So the trick to all of this is that depending on what I put in these boxes, that is what I will use in my code. And so in here, I have a lot of comments because I'm making sure that it all works. But I check to see if they have a text response, and if they do, then I send a text message. If they have a card response, then I have to check and see if there's an image or not. If there's an image, then I send a standard card. And if there's no image, then I send a simple card. And then down here, this is the thing that I thought we'd spend a little bit of time building today. And that is my screen response. And so this is where I decide because we're doing this Bob Rossian episode, it feels like this is kind of the place that I should spend some time, because I'm building out the visuals for a screen and how I actually want to do that. So a big piece of this, of course, is getting an image to show up. Oxygen Box, I agree with you on that. I think that my hair will eventually, I mean, I can't even get over how solid this wig is. It really looks, be able to decide how I want to do these screen responses. One of the other things that I'm really struggling with is that devices have different screen sizes, and how do I effectively fill in the screen of each device? Because they have different dimensions. Do I want to make a different image for every single dimension? I don't love that. But at some point, as we're writing all this stuff, we will have to add in, what SSML we're going to use. We may have to use a happy little semicolon from time to time. All of those things are done to generate APL on a user's screen. So the first thing that I need to do is build a function that one more button set. You think I should be more like this without the undershirt? I think I'm trying to keep this a little bit classy, but thank you, Ryan. Okay, so we need to first check and see if the user's device supports APL at all. And without, you guys are going to make it so hard to concentrate today. This is great. Yeah, Ice Cream, I really need to spend some time thinking through all of those details. Username is unavailable. Thank you for the follow. I wish I had customized that to be something Bob Rossi, but I did not do that. Okay, so I'm going to start by typing if, because that's the thing that I really need. And then I'm going to say supports APL. And I think that's all I'm going to put here. I think I'm just going to have a function that checks this for me. So to support APL, I probably also need handler input to know. And this is where I'm going to check to see if I actually support APL. So I'll come down here somewhere and we'll build a function called supports APL. Let's see what's a good place to do that. Update user record, ask for permission. This seems like a great place. Supports APL, handler input. And this is where I'm going to do that check. So you guys are just killing me in the comments. This is so fun. Thank you guys all for participating. I'm glad you guys showed up for this to have fun at my expense. I'm happy to make a fool of myself if it means that I get to have this kind of community on a regular basis. It's great. Okay, so thank you, Jamie. I feel like I look great. Okay, so supports APL. Now this is the thing that I actually need to remember how to do. So we're going to go over to my logs, and we're going to look at, for example, this request envelope, because in here this will tell me what's going on with my device. So in here we can see a few things, but the one that I really want to see is supported interfaces. This is the thing that I really need to check, and I don't see it in this one. So I'm going to create a new interaction with my skill just so that I can... Karthik, I'm glad you're enjoying this. So the thing that I need to do is get a response from a device that supports APL so that I can see what it looks like. So Alexa, open scavenger hunt.
I've sent you a text message for the first puzzle.
Alexa,
good luck.
Stop.
Goodbye.
Okay, so in my logs now, I should have a new stream from 10:11. That looks good. And if we look into my request envelope for this one, this should have... Why are there no supported interfaces in there? Am I doing this wrong? I feel like I'm doing this right, but... That's all my session data. For my device, I feel like supported interfaces, there should be some APL stuff in here. And Alexa. Oh, I think that's actually the thing I wanted. These are all pages that I go to all the time. I just never remember how to do it. Yeah, I like that I'm just... Oh, Gold Zulu, that is the issue. Thank you so much for calling that out. I would have fallen into a massive rat hole here, and you just saved my day. So what Gold Zulu has just called out is that I need to come down here to interfaces. Is it to interfaces? And I need to turn on APL. But I can't just enable it in the interface. I need to also do it here. So I need to take this. APIs, custom. Looks like it goes right here. Interfaces. Like that. Oh, it did not like that. What did I do wrong? It's expected an array, huh? Because I have to put this inside an array. Maybe. Does that help at all? How do you like that? Is that better? Ooh, we're getting closer. I think I just need a comma here now. No, I need to get rid of that. We're getting closer. What am I doing wrong here? I have an open. Oh, I still have two more to close, that's why. Like so. Beautiful. Okay, so let me catch up on what's going on here. There's an existing skill with invocation of scavenger hunt. I'm going to change it eventually anyway, so I apologize that I'm setting your devices off. I have to do it in the skill.json because every time I deploy, otherwise I'll overwrite the choice and then it'll be gone. So that's why I have to do it in the skill.json. But thank you for the reminder, Gold Zulu. Insomniac, imagining if Bob Ross were still live streaming on Twitch and his audience was telling him to put a happy little tree in the middle of the painting. I could totally see that, where he's standing here and he's like, all right, I'm just going to do some clouds here, you know, just use your brush however you'd like to do it, right? And we just go through the thing. Can you get your skill.json in the dev console, or do you need to use the CLI to get it? TradeLast, you cannot get your skill.json. This is my #1 issue with the dev portal right now, is there are certain aspects of your skill, mostly the skill JSON, that you can edit in the dev portal, but you can't get a copy of your skill.json there, and it kills me. It really kind of makes me mad that it's not possible, so I have to go like look up the documentation and do all this stuff. But you have to make the changes in the dev portal and then like clone your skill or pull it back down again, which is really, really annoying. I feel like I should just be able to grab the file or at least see the source of it, and it wouldn't be that hard to do, right? I mean, if I'm on the dev console, why couldn't you just have a skill.json option here someplace? I mean, I have my invocation name, I have a JSON editor. Give me a skill file too. I don't know. That bothers me, but it's, you know, I'm sure they have reasons for not doing it, or it's tricky to keep in sync or something, but it's something that I really wish was there. I'm surprised that no one has noticed, and maybe you just can't hear it, but the background music is the theme song from The Joy of Painting. Has anyone picked up on that? I'm trying to really commit to this bit as much as I can. Let's see. Startup says I look like I fit right in India. That's great. Okay, so Ice Cream wishes he could redeem channel points to make me do stuff. Yeah, I'm going to have to do some things with my channel to make it more interactive. For those of you that don't know, maybe that have not been here often, there's a light here behind me, and a lot of people know that they can change it. There's an Alexa skill that you can use that is my name. So you can say, ask Jeff Blankenburg, and by doing that, any of the, there we go, somebody just changed it to green. So as you're watching, if you feel like you don't like the color that's being shown, you can talk to your device and get it to change. Okay, Gold Zulu says, you can optionally redirect this output to a file. Oh, okay, so I can at least see it in the CLI. That's kind of nice. But then I have to know the skill ID, which is not something I have. Like, it just feels like it should be easier. Okay, so so we've got APL in our skill.json. We've got our supports APL function that we're not using yet because I need to update my skill first. So the first thing that I'm going to do is ask deploy. And this ask deploy is going to, it's actually pretty straightforward. So the way that I built this is that most smart home devices are eligible to be used via a service called If This Then That, IFTTT. And so they have a webhooks function in here. And so what I can do is say, when someone hits this API and they basically give me a URL, then do a specific thing. And so if I were to create a new one of these, which I don't have set up right now, but I can say it so that if you hit this URL, so it's just an HTTP link, then it will automatically change it to red or yellow or whatever. And so you can see I have a different one of these for each color. They didn't have a way to pass in the color value, so I had to create a different one for each of the colors, but this is what's getting called. And so you should be able to use pretty much any smart bulb that has an API link inside If This Then That, and you go in and say, hey, when somebody hits this URL, I want you to turn the light bulb red, and then I use that HTTP link and I just make the call out of my skill. So when you say pink, it says, oh, they said pink, I make the pink URL call, and that's how it all happens. So it's not super complicated, but that's how it works. Okay, we have published our code. We published our new skill JSON. So I'm going to try this again with my Echo Show 5 to see if I get APL indications now. Alexa, open. So any place you could call an API, you can do it from here. There's nothing really stopping you from doing anything with Alexa. I'm just making an API call. It has really nothing to do with this and that. It's just that I'm using their API, but I could be calling anybody else's API too. All right, let's see. Scavenger hunt 1022 is where we are, and I want this one right here, the request envelope. And now I should be able to see this. This is what I was looking for. So yes, kind of. Thank you, Trade Last. I've been known as an inspirational person. Thank you for that. So this is the detail that I want. So it starts in the context object. So it's context.device.supported interfaces. And all I care is that there is APL. I'm not doing anything that's APL 1.3 specific. So I don't care about versioning. I just care that there is APL. So let's do that. So in my function that I was working on, let's find that again. If handler input dot request dot context, I'm never going to remember this, context dot capital S system, I hate that too, dot device dot supported interfaces, and then inside there I have alexa.presentation.apl. How do I normally do this? I would do that, and then I would do, because the supported interfaces will always exist, even if there isn't any. And then I would do an and. Is anyone going to catch my typo? Nobody? Okay, cool, I'll get it. Thanks. There we go. And then we have that one, and this is going to be alexa.presentation.apl.
I'm not sure.
I know. Okay, so that's all I care about, is that alexa.presentation.apl is in there. Yeah, I got a lot of work to do. I think I'm going to do a lot of Funko icons. I thought that would be kind of fun with all the nonsense in my background. Then this will return true. Else, what have I screwed up? If that and that return true. Oh, because if you don't use curly braces on your function, it doesn't know what you're doing. That's the issue. Okay, so that one goes there, and that one goes there, and then I don't actually need this one. I need return false. So if it doesn't support those things, then I will get a false, and then I know that I don't. Oh, do I need to look at that? Oh my god. That is wonderfully fantastic that that exists in the world. I'm so happy that that is now a thing. Thank you, Jeff Nunn, for doing that. Okay, so one of the things that I talked about on Wednesday was that I had this puzzle intent handler, but it's not actually a handler. It's not actually even an intent. And I feel like I have Bob Ross hair all over my face. So what I did is I got rid of it. And so I can actually delete this because I rewrote it. It's still very similar, but I got rid of this handler because it's not actually a thing that's used. And so I built it out instead as a function that I call giveNextPuzzle. And this should automatically go out and give the user the next puzzle for whatever that thing happens to be. Cocktails Guy, thank you for being here. Thank you for the follow. It's always nice to have new folks joining us. I I can't get over that I did a whole painting bit at the beginning of this thing. I'm making myself laugh, which I guess is good. All right, so my add some information to my response builder, which is here. So we're going to do, if it supports APL, we're going to do handler input, not response builder. And then I need to remember what the function call is for doing APL. So the next thing that I need, if I can do this, the best place for me to see this, honestly, is if I go to our GitHub, github.com/Alexa. I could stick all sorts of things in this hair. Like, it wouldn't even affect me. It's just, it's so big and so thick. This, I want the cookbook. And then I also want, is it feature demos? APL. Let's see what we have here. Feels weird to have a pencil sticking out of my head. Okay, let's go back to Lambda Custom and look at the index that they're using, because what I need to remember is what the function is that we call. It's add directive. Okay, so we'll do that. Okay, so in my code here, this is where I'm going to add directive without 2 periods. And LJ, we go to the cookbook because we've written sample code for all of these little tasks that I'm always trying to accomplish. It's such a nice library to be able to go into and be like, all right, how do I add APL to a thing? Like, rather than having to go hunt and find documentation or whatever, like, we have samples for all of that stuff there. So I highly, highly recommend using the Alexa cookbook. It's cool and fun and gets the job done. And then the document that I want to require is going to be in a new folder. So let's look at my directory here. Inside Lambda, I have node modules, and we're going to create another new folder inside custom. That is this the new folder? Yeah. We're going to call this APL. And inside APL, we're going to have the, well, let's do this the right way. We're actually going to create something custom. APL designer. I just want image display. I know it's at 1.3, but I want to support older devices too, TradeLast, so I'm teetering on how to handle this. So the thing that I really want, and maybe this solves it for me, is a large image. That's really all I care about. I could put the title up here. A title's probably helpful. This is also a fake icon. I thought this was actually pulled in from your skill, but it's a fake icon for what you're building. So what I really want to do is just see the JSON for this. And to do that, I go to APL. And this is the whole APL document. So I'm going to take this and just copy it, because that's... I don't know what the update process is. I mean, for a device to work, it has to be connected to the internet, and if it's connected to the internet, it should be getting updates. So I feel like it's safe, but if there are devices that were set up not to ever update themselves, I don't know how that stuff works yet. APL 1.3 is still pretty new. Bald-Bearded Bearder says that this is amazing and needs to be a permanent addition. I don't think I can do this permanently, but it is, I mean... You guys are killing me with this. Okay. We'll talk about it. How about that? We'll have a discussion about what the thing should be. I'll say version 1.3. I don't know what happens if I run into a 1.2 device. I should know that, but I don't. I want to create a new document that's this. This is the JSON for my APL, and so we're gonna save this. in my APL folder that I just created, and we're going to call this image.json. Okay, so I have this image.json, and all I want to do right now is get it to show, and then we'll worry about customizing it. So I have image.json. There's a few things I'm going to have to do to that, which means that I can't require this here because I need to make some modifications where I actually swap library stuff here and on my YouTube channel. So feel free to dive in and let me know what you like and what you don't like. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is say var APL equals that. Then I'm going to make some modifications to Yiddish Ninja. Thank you for the follow. That's my my friend and colleague Greg Bolmash. Thank you for being here. I'm glad you guys could tune in. Puzzle. Okay, but this gets me to a point now where I could say APL. So now I can just pass in that APL document that I will have modified. So that should work. And then does my APL have data sources? Main template. It does not. Let me make sure. Find data sources. Okay, cool. That's perfect. So I'll leave this empty data sources here thing too. And so now I can save this. And what should happen on my device is that I should see that same layout that we just saw here with the dog, with the wine and the cheese. Like it's going to use all of the same images and everything. So we'll customize that. We'll change it. But first I want to deploy this. So we'll do a deploy on my Lambda. And then we will, I'll flip over to this view, which I don't think I changed the footer on. Oh, good. Doesn't matter. I tried to change the Bob Ross stuff everywhere for this stream, so looks like I didn't have any Blankenburg Builds stuff on here. So let's give this a run. Alexa, open scavenger hunt. Maybe. Alexa, open scavenger hunt. She doesn't seem to want to do that. No errors, no anything. Alexa, play scavenger hunt. What have I done? Am I getting anything in my logs?
There was a problem with the requested skills response.
Okay. Well, let's see what the problem with our requested skills response was. Yep, always good to dig in some logs, but thankfully I'm pretty responsible about my logging, and so it's easy to find stuff. Puzzle intent handler is not defined. Well, okay, that's because I just deleted that thing without actually checking. That's just irresponsible development. I'm sorry for that. Let's try that again. Pushing some Lambda code, drinking from my happy bottle of water. And let's go one more time. Alexa, open scavenger hunt.
I've sent you a text message for the first puzzle. Good luck. Come back when you know the answer. What is your answer?
Stop. WK Jr., thank you, man. The wig is rocking today. Also the pattern shirt, white and blue. But I feel like in today's age, he would probably wear things like this. If you guys can't tell, these are tiny little lizards all over my shirt. This felt more like what he would wear. I had one on earlier today that was, it had stripes on it, so it didn't look good on the camera. It kind of made a weird effect. But it was these tiny little stripes, and then it had little flamingos all over it. But this feels like the kind of thing that he would wear, so I thought this was an appropriate shirt. All right, so the thing that we're not doing yet, and this is just a data problem, is providing it with what kind of screen response we want. And so I actually don't know what I'm going to put here. I don't know that I need anything. I think what I actually want to do is check to see... Trade last, you thought these were ants. That honestly was that one time we had one ant. We were looking at this view, and an ant just started crawling across my screen on the Echo device. That is the only ant I found in this whole office. And I spent some time that day really looking around. Haven't seen another ant since, so I don't know how that guy got lost, but I'm glad he's gone. So for screen response, I expect, right now anyway, that I'm either going to show an image or I'm going to show a video. I think those are the two things that I might do. And in either of those cases, I don't have any other content. I'm going to have a title, but I won't have... I won't have any like screen response content. So I wonder if that's actually how I should be doing this. Because what I'm doing right now, if I look at my give puzzle function, wherever that is, this, I say, is there a screen response? But I don't think that's actually what I want to check. Ice cream, there's no plants in here. I only kill plants. So don't have any in here. I don't know what it would be, but like I have an outdoor window right here. Like this is the window outside to my backyard right there. So, I mean, it's possible he just snuck in the window by himself. So I don't really want screen response. What I really want is for this to have a different name. I don't want to call it image because there might be videos in there sometimes. So I really need to call it media. And I just broke everything in my code, so now we need to check and find every place that I have .image. And this needs to become .media. Thankfully, it's not a lot. Okay, I think we're good. I just made a change to my database, which is not something I generally recommend. And then in here, I can just say .media doesn't equal undefined. Which it would if I didn't have anything. Then I check and see if they have APL. And so if there was media and there was APL availability, then I want to render this document. Okay, so let's give that a try. We should see APL now because I have my data in the right place. And this should allow me to see that dog with the wine and cheese, the APL that we borrowed. So, okay, Alexa, open scavenger hunt. Alexa, stop.
Goodbye.
So I did something wrong. I don't know what I did wrong yet, but we'll find it. It's just a happy little accident, right? We're gonna have to go to this view for a second. What is my error? Oh, I see. So, I had to dig into that without showing it on screen because it showed my API key. But one of the things that I realized is in my filter here, I had a reference to... I should have just done it without the dot. If I do this and I find image, I'm going to find one more, which is right there. So I wasn't bringing, I was trying to query against a field that no longer exists. Where's the last place? That's fine, I can live with that. Okay, so that was the issue, was just that I had I changed the name, and then I was we'll get our happy little accident fixed, and now we should get it to work. Alexa, open scavenger hunt. Alexa, stop.
Goodbye.
Now what? I just want it to work, everybody. This isn't supposed to be hard. We'll do it a more traditional way. We'll do this. And then we'll do this. So what this does is it steps through each of the nodes of this. And so now we shouldn't end up with an undefined. And that's what happens when you just dig deep into some JSON. If it's not there, you get an error. So that should be fixed now. We should be... This is the code that I just wrote for the supports APL function. Didn't realize I didn't have that on the screen, but over requesting. And just to make sure that I did it right, it is supported interfaces Alexa presentation APL, which is what I... Okay. Alexa, open scavenger hunt. Did I push the code? I thought I did. Alexa, stop. I don't actually know if I pushed
Goodbye.
the code. E. Dalvard, thank you for being here. How's it going? Thank you for coming. I am dressed as Bob Ross today because people asked me to if I got to 250 followers, and I'm thankful that you guys are all here. All right, I'm gonna try it again. Alexa, open scavenger hunt. Alexa, stop. Okay.
Goodbye.
So the issue now is something new. We just keep running into new, interesting errors. Let's see, 1046. I come in here, cannot read property alexa.presentation.apl of undefined. Line 147. I mean, that's... Oh. Am I doing something up here? No. If supports APL, that's the function that I'm calling. Oh my gosh. I'm missing an R. That's all it was. Karthik, yes, the code for this is available. And we now have it in a working state. Let me get this without an error, and then I will publish the source as it is right now to GitHub so that we can get deeper into this, but that'll at least let you see what's going on. Now, you won't be able to debug it yourself because you won't have the data entities and some other dependencies that this has, but you could at least look at the code and scroll through if you wanted to. So the code has been pushed. Let's try one more time. Alexa.
First puzzle. Good luck. Come back when you know the answer. What is your answer?
Stop.
Goodbye.
Okay, so it worked, and it put something on the screen, but not the images. I didn't actually look at the APL that we're using to see what these URLs look like. But it looks like I don't have the right APL. So if we come here, this is the data sources part. It doesn't matter, I'm not going to use it, but this is why the images aren't showing, is because I didn't actually define the data source stuff. So I think it's okay, but what I'll need to do is fix this in my code, which is very, very easy to do. So the first thing we'll do is hard code this in. Well, before I do that, I told you I was going to push this stuff up. So I have everything saved. And I have this sitting here ready to go for me. So okay, so that is pushing everything up to GitHub, and the URL for that is this. Okay, so if you guys want to get into the code or play with it or see what's going on, that's where it is. Now the thing that we really need to do, if we look at our image.json, things like that. The first thing that I want to do is say that this is the URL to my image. And so instead of all of this, I don't have the puzzle stuff in there right now. I was hoping to get the image URL. Well, it does. I guess we can do this with code instead of just hard coding it. So the thing that I need is, this is going to be main template. Is that how I do it? If I'm looking at this whole document, I probably need to start at the top, right? But I think it can be document.main_template. If I do this scrolling right, main template. Okay. So we'll just make the changes that we need to make, rather than trying to hard code and go step by step. So the first thing that I need to do is say apl.main_template dot, no, it's not there, it's here, dot items 0, this is for the round one, dot items 0 dot source is going to be the image name, or the image URL. So this will be dot source equals the image URL. Well, WK White, I'm glad you're here, man. This is there's a number of us. I am one of several Alexa people that work at Amazon that do a lot of live streaming, and I'm actually in the process of putting together what they call a Twitch team so that we can all easily be found from each other. But on top, I would check. You can find on my page a link to the live coders, and on that team, there's people talking about just about every technology, and this is just one of many kinds of things that people do there. So TradeLast, you always relied on populating the data sources. I tend to not do that. I tend to just go directly to the document and make the change. And so in this case, I need session attributes.game.fields.media. And this is going to go here. And then I think it's just URL, but I want to make sure of that. Right here, we're going to do... because I don't have an easy way to see this other puzzle. I'm sorry, game details equals json.stringify response.records. Okay, so that's in there now. I have this, which I don't know if it's going to work, so I'm going to comment it out because I'm not looking to live in errorland. I just want to see what that actually looks like. So we'll push code one more time. Let's see. E. Dalvard, you got the Star Trek stickers. Awesome. For those of you that don't know, I run a conference called Star Trek. It's held in Columbus, Ohio every year. Obviously, we canceled it this year, but we spent some money on some things before before we could cancel. Let's see if I can get this URL in here. And we created a store to sell some of the things that we had made for the event. I think the thing that he's referring to is these stickers, which are super cool. Because we were going to show the movie Black Widow at the end of the event, we thought it was a good opportunity to celebrate women in technology at the same time. And so we had these stickers made, and they are a bunch of famous women from technology. So like Grace Hopper, Adele Goldberg. There's 8 different ones, I think. Margaret Hamilton. But you can buy the whole set of them for $10. And I'll add a link there. There's a bunch of other cool stuff too. A lot of it is Star Trek related, but those stickers turned out really nice, and so I'm glad that you're enjoying those, Edallard. Okay, so we have pushed our code. We should now be able to see the puzzle JSON in my document, which is going to be here. Alexa, open scavenger hunt.
I've sent you
Alexa,
a text message for the
stop. W. Giorgio, no, we're doing the full 2 hours with this wig, so
Goodbye.
I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you got an opportunity to see my ridiculousness on air. Okay, let's look at CloudWatch and see what that puzzle JSON looks like. Here. So it is just media 0. So I would have forgotten the array. We actually had those stickers made, Startup. We had those stickers made at Sticker Mule. So yeah, that's definitely exactly where they came from. So I need this media to be a 0 media, and then we're good. And then the other thing that we had inside Treyless, that's so cool that you got to meet her. Very, very cool. So that's items 1. And then my header title is in items 2. I'm sorry, it'll be items 1. Items 1 dot header title. So we'll change that here. So this becomes items 1 header title, and this is going to be the title from so this should be like this title, because I have we can check our properties on that too, but I have fields, I have media, I have a thing called title, and that's what should show up. And then the other stuff that I have in my APL is the big version, the one that's not showing on a round screen, and so that's going to be this same thing, and this will be items 2 source. No, it's not just going to be items 2 dot source. It's going to be items 2 dot items 0 dot source, and this will go away. Okay. And then I have another one here. That's a background image. I'm not worried about that yet. Maybe I should do this data source. I wasn't realizing that this APL doc was so complicated. So this late earlier, but I was thinking I had a much simpler file. At this point, changing data sources might be easier, but I really just want to see this work, so we're going to continue down this path. So this title is cleared. Then I have the original items 1. So was I doing this all wrong all along? Main template dot item, yeah, it changes the round ones. That's all item 0. And then in item 1, I'm going to do dot items dot 0. Okay. and that's the image URL. And then, so this goes away. Oh no, that's the background image actually. I don't even want to do that one. All right, and then in here I want items 1.header title. So that's a similar idea. Thanks, Karthik. Thanks for coming by, man. Thanks for making me do this. 0.1 header title. This should be 1.1. And then this one should be like this. I can't recommend it enough, guys. Karthik just did a fantastic stream all week. He did one every day. It was basically taking you from 0 to a full skill. He did a riddle a day skill. It was very well done. And so make sure you tune in. Check his stuff out too. It's interesting to see everybody's unique perspectives on this stuff. All right, let's just see how I did. Let's see if this got me what I wanted. So this becomes nothing. He also doesn't have a beard. We got to get him on the beard train. He says his wife prefers no beard, but I mean, so does mine. And here we are. Come on, Lambda. Let's go. There we go. All right, so let's see what happens here. Hopefully, we'll see my tiger striped image. Alexa, open scavenger hunt.
I've sent you a text message for the first puzzle. Good luck.
Was that too extreme?
Come
Was that
back
too Bob
when
Ross?
you know the answer.
Well, that is
What is your answer?
That is a surprising outcome. I'm so happy to see that happen. Alexa, stop.
Goodbye.
That is so cool. So we have our image. We have our puzzle title. We should also be able to see, I'm going to take my canvas down here. We should be able to see this on other screens now. Alexa, open scavenger hunt.
I've sent you a text message for the first puzzle.
Look at that.
Good luck.
Oh, I guess I'm not showing you that right.
What is your answer?
Stop. And we'll do this one. Alexa, open scavenger hunt. Maybe. Alexa, open scavenger hunt.
I've sent you a text message for the first
That's the
puzzle.
Echo Show 8.
Good luck. Come back when you know the answer. What is your answer?
Stop. And here's the Echo Show. I'm sorry, the Echo Spot. Alexa, open scavenger hunt.
Your answer.
Stop.
Goodbye.
And this is the original Echo Show right here. Alexa, open scavenger hunt. So look at that. Alexa, stop. So trade last, one of the things that I decided as I was going through this, and you didn't hear me mention this, it absolutely is oh, that's nice. Things that I was building where I built my own custom APL, and I only had one image. The question, Mr. Survival Expert asks if it works without a display also. It should. We'll verify that here in a second. But I only had one value to change, and so it seems silly to change the data source instead of just changing the value. But for this, because I have multiple templates, I have one for the round screen, I have one for rectangular screens, and they're referring to all the same values, I think I'm going to go back and change it so that I change the data source instead. That seems to make more sense to me, and I agree with you. I think it is an anti-pattern generally when you're reusing the same things over and over and over. So let's do this. Alexa. Oh, that one's not connected to the internet.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. Take a look at the help section in your Alexa app.
Alexa. Alexa. Open scavenger hunt.
I've sent you a text message for the first puzzle. Good luck. Come back when you know the answer. What is your answer?
Stop.
Goodbye.
Okay, so there we are. We have a skill that works on both devices with and without screens. We're not done by any means, but we at least now are able to show some APL stuff. And that was the big goal for me today, was to be able to show that. Now the next step is that I need to be able to figure out, hey Jill. So XBuckIX is a friend of mine, and his wife's name is Jill, and she's saying, hey, what's up? So what's up to you? How are you? Hope the quarantine is treating you very, very well. I've obviously been in quarantine for quite a while. I need a haircut desperately. So it happened, and I'll have to have different APL for that. So let's close this, and we'll make the second puzzle. Okay. So now we need a video file. So I think I still have. Where's thank you. It's nice to know that I'm a smarter, cooler version of Bob Ross. I need a video file. Opening crawl for Rise of Skywalker. So we'll drop that in here, and by using this video, I'm expecting that they're going to show me different information when I get my JSON. So that's the first thing that I want to see is, how does Airtable handle this? I put an image in here, and I put a video in here. That's fine. And so how does it pass this information to me? So let's look at that first. And we'll just come over to my logs, because that's where we'll see this. So I'm going to have to answer the first puzzle. We set the name as the answer is Smith, so that should kick us right to the second puzzle. We'll see if that works too. Alexa, open scavenger hunt.
I've sent you a text message for the first puzzle. Good luck. Come back when you know the answer. What is your answer?
Smith. Alexa, stop. All right. Let's first look and see what error I created, and then I'll just go in and modify my records automatically. Where is my error? Oh, error, where are you? Puzzle. Oh, I still have that in there? Hey, Jomo. Good to see you, man. Hope needs to be give next puzzle. Now I don't have it anymore. And where was this? In my answer intent handler. Makes sense. So did we actually get the record right, though? Did it put a record here? It did. Okay, cool. So now when I open the skill, it should just take me to the second one. But we should be able to see, before doing that, in my game details, this is the first question. Yeah, sorry. So I put a video. Sorry, thank you for calling that out, Galactoids. In my media column, I put an image for my first one. For my second one, I put a video. And I wanted to see what that looks like. So what I'm digging into is, if you look at how it sends this information, when I look at my media field for the first record, it says, oh, this is a type image PNG, and then it actually creates a bunch of thumbnail URLs for me, which is awesome, at different sizes, so I can use those as I want. For the second one, though, it gives me, for my media file, the type is video MP4, and then all I get is a URL for it, which is fine because I wouldn't, like the video scales depending on the size that I put it into. So I'm still just going to use media.url. But I need to know whether or not it's a video because I'll use different APL for that. And so I'll need to check media.type in my code. We go back to my puzzle function. So in here, this is where we are choosing which directive to use, and I'm pulling image. So now I want to say var APL equals nothing, and then I want to say if this, like that, if this dot type equals, in this case they say image.png. I'm getting myself into trouble, but because I'm going to custom make all these graphics, I think I can be okay being very specific about this. So I can say image.png, image/png, then APL is the image JSON, and then else if this will be video.json. So that works for now. The other thing that I really need to do, I'm gonna have to do this like a bigger deal. So this is gonna have to be like this, and then all of these pieces that I wrote for the image APL, I'm actually gonna have to do that inside here. So once I know it's the image.json, and this is where I'll update my data source, but this is where those changes will happen. And then otherwise, we'll do this, where I'm updating the video. And so this can go away, all of that. I don't have a video file yet, so we really need to figure out how to do a video. So let's come back over here to this, and let's see if they have a template for just showing a video. They do not, but I do. I did this in my Star Wars skill, so we're gonna go open a file from my Star Wars skill where I did something very similar to this. So in this it was, where did Star Wars go? Star Wars Databank, Lambda APL, video player. So you can see I stripped away pretty much everything that was necessary for this document. This is actually my preferred approach. In here, we're going to go to GitHub, we're going to go to scavenger hunt, Lambda custom APL, and in here we'll do video. And that's what I'm going to call. So we've saved our video file. There's nothing else to it. I need to get rid of data source, which also means that I need to get rid of the document piece of this. So that's working. I have my video reference here. I have my image reference here. I need to change my image.json. Or no, I don't. This is still fine. But I will need to create those data sources, which I'll do in a little bit. What I'd like to do now is just get the video playing, and I can do that here with apl.main template items 0 items 0 items 0 item 0 source. Items 0 dot items 0 dot source. equals, and this will be the same URL as this, thankfully. So this can go like that. Go right here. And hopefully we will be able to see a video when we try to load this. Let's see what happens. I can't, like, the wig goes off the screen. Right. Come on, Lambda code, let's go. There we go.
There was a problem with the requested skills response.
I'm always optimistic I can nail it on my first try, and I never do. So let's take a look at what I did wrong. Expected token. I'm missing a semicolon someplace. Looks like it's right around here somewhere. Wow. Happy little accidents. They're the best. That was the issue. Somehow I kept the wrong curly brace. Sip of water here before it's all gone. Code is loaded. Alexa's online. Alexa, open scavenger hunt. Show me a video. Oh, yeah. Look at that. So we're using the opening crawl from Star Wars Episode 9. That is what this is. So we're going to get some audio here in a second. Alexa, stop. So that worked. That was much easier than the last time that I tried to do this. Alexa, quit. Okay, so that was much easier than the last time that I tried to get video to work on an Echo Show, but that was my first time. I've learned since then how to do this stuff. Darth Ross sounds like a good name. So now we have video and audio working. I'm going to go back and delete my record and make sure that I didn't break anything. So in my user puzzle table, I'm going to get rid of this record, which is the one that says I've already completed puzzle 1. So now when we come in and open the skill, it should go to puzzle 1 first. It should show me the image. I should say Smith, and then boom, it should take me to the second puzzle and show the video. That is the ideal workflow for me here. Alexa, open scavenger hunt.
Your answer.
Smith. That's awesome. Alexa, quit. All right, so we're in business, people. We now have a skill that we can fire up. It'll ask us for our mobile phone number. I would think that's why the video continued to play. But no, I can tell the skill what my mobile phone number is. I can verify that with a 4-digit PIN so that I know the user is actually using their own number, or a number they have access to anyway. I can then present them with the first puzzle, does that automatically, and then when they finish the first puzzle, I automatically know that I should start the second puzzle. So it seems like the next pieces of this, before I start creating content, right, before I actually start writing all the puzzles, it seems like the other stuff that I should... good examples of that are... where do I have my puzzle intent? Things like, please try again, or that's not the correct answer. Right? All of those pieces should be extracted so that I can internationalize this. And it's not hard to do. I already have most of the structure built. If we look at my speech table, I have a table here called speech. In here I have welcomes and goodbyes and action queries, and also ways to ask for your phone number, so that that's all covered. So I just need additional tables to be able to handle those kinds of things. and I'll have to build those things out. So that is, I think that's the next step for me, is really to make sure that I'm getting all of my content out of here. Things like you've already beaten this week's game, I would have a few variations on that. I definitely need to swap out what is your answer. And I need to rethink how this all works, because if you look at how I present the puzzle, if we come back here, the puzzle data itself says something like this. Here's the clue for puzzle number 1 today. That's a text response. Let's look at the actual voice response. I've sent you a text message for the first puzzle. Good luck. Come back when you know the answer. I probably shouldn't put this part, right? Because then I am tacking on something like, what is your answer? And so I need to be able to piece this stuff together so that I give you the clue and I say, what is your answer? But I can't just say that, because I'm not expecting the user to know their answer in the first 8 seconds that they've seen the puzzle. These should take work. You have to look something up or research some answers. And so I need to say something like, the first time I present you with the puzzle, there's no way you're going to know the answer. But every subsequent time that I show you the puzzle, you might be... maybe... let's write some notes for myself here. When to automatically give it to them again when they return to answer it. Maybe we should ask them if they want to answer the puzzle or hear it again when they return. Just thoughts. Nothing we're going to build now. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Which puzzle are they currently playing? We did that. That's done. How does you get a text message clue sent again? What if they accidentally delete it? I haven't really solved that yet. What happens? Is there any other to-dos down lower that I can get rid of? We need to... oh yeah, we did all this. But I need to add a thing here where I'm... use the data source instead. Dummy. That would make my life much easier. Are there more? Oh, that's another thing that I wanted to do here. Is give next puzzle should also have a... That is correct. You nailed it. Here is your next puzzle, or something like that. This was a thing that I meant to do for my puzzle intent handler, which is, or my puzzle function, where I'm calling this pre-speech. And I have a variable somewhere. How can I just do this? Var speak, no. Okay, so I don't really need that. But I'll put pre-speech at the beginning. So this is something that I pass in that is said to the user before they hear the puzzle. So they would only get this if they have just answered a puzzle. Otherwise, it would just be... Oh, but I could do that with the intent in my opener too. So I could say, well, I won't worry about that. I'll just pass something like this. Welcome to the skill. Just to have something in there. Okay, let's do that, because this pre-speech thing is actually kind of a big deal in keeping a nice harmonious flow to what we're trying to do. So this allows me to then say, oh, you got the next puzzle right. I'm going to hand you off to that function. It's going to finish the rest of what I need to do. But I needed to say this at the beginning because a thing just happened. So we're going to go to the developer console here. We'll do this in the just so you guys can see this. Sometimes it's easier to follow when you're here. Open scavenger hunt. Maybe.
There was a problem with the requested skills response.
King of breaking things. 31. Didn't even see that handler input disappear, but we found it. So we'll fix that, and then this should work. Oh, what is this red right here? Okay. Quit.
This is puzzle 2. What is your answer?
So let's back up. Get rid of my user puzzle record that I have here, because I want to be able to get one right. So we'll do... That's awesome. I'll try this again. Open scavenger hunt.
I've sent you a text message for the first puzzle. Good luck.
I got
What
the
is
first
your
puzzle
answer?
right. Smith.
That is correct. You nailed it. Here is your next puzzle. This is puzzle 2. What is your answer?
They worked. So I'm passing in that pre-speech. So we're in a good place. All right, so that is working. I really want to get some of this speech out of here, though. So we'll call this... where do I get some random speech? Here we go. So down here... So you've already beaten it. I'm going to put this here, and we'll call this already won. And now over here in my speech data, I need to create a new table called already won. And then in here, I need to take that response that I have. My locales, I'm going to add all the English locales. And then we're good. So that is all I need to do to be able to pull speech randomly from that table. So I can add more responses later. But now instead of this, I can do this. And then that pulls from my database. So again, I'm getting content. We're going to call this answer prompt. So we'll need one of these somewhere. No, it should be answer query. Because I like to do it as a query because it's a question. So this will be answer query. And then what is your answer will be the thing that I use. Okay, so that is it for answer query. And now we need to go create that table. So we'll do this again. With an answer query table, I now have a value in here that is, what is your answer? Space in the beginning going, okay. We'll add those locales again. This is easier to do on my second, third, fourth records because I can just copy this field. But this is fine, it doesn't take long. So I have my 5 English locales. So what's cool about this, especially if you guys haven't played with this with localization, is that I could have, I don't know French well enough, but let's say that I knew French really, and I could say, "Où est pour response?" Right, let's pretend that's valid French. I could come in here and I could say, oh, this one is the FR, and then when my skill is working, if the user's locale is French, it'll only pull records from this table that have that locale against it. So I can enter all of my responses in here in all of the languages, and they can all live kind of here in the same place without having to have different sections and different files and all that other stuff. I would just do it that way. But that's probably close. I'm recalling my high school and college French from 20 plus years ago, but it's not far off. I think a French person would understand what I was saying. Delete record. Okay. So I have, I now have that, the answer query in a good place. What else do I want to, what other speech do I have in here? None in this function, that's good. Phone number intent handler, this probably has some speech in it. Yeah, your validation pin is, I've just sent a message. Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of those. This should actually just be a welcome. So I'm going to take this, copy it, and we'll do it here instead. Our welcome, and then this will just go here, whatever thing I grab, welcome. That gets me to the top of the document, so let's come back down here to my answer intent. That is not the correct answer. Will be something. So we'll call this one incorrect response. That is not the correct answer. Incorrect response is now the field that I'm using, so we'll do something like, no, it's not those. Where's my random speech parts. This needs to be incorrect answer. And then this goes here. This will be, I guess this will be incorrect reprompt. Those were mine. I just muted my machine though because it was kind of annoying. Okay, so I've moved that speech out. That's good. Is there any other speech in here? That is correct. You nailed it. Here's your... So I need a correct response one. If you got it right. Okay, so this one needs duplicate the table, duplicate the record, sure. We'll call this one correct response. Okay, so I have my correct response table. I'm glad to hear that, Mr. Survival Expert. I can't probably use this all the time. This is actually the Bob Ross theme song, so I used it today since we're doing a tribute to him, but in general, I'm going to add some background music to the stream. I have had some previously, but it's been kind of quiet, so I don't know that everybody always noticed. Oh, Trade Last asked where the locale is. My locale is... not defined, because I haven't done it here. Normally I do it at the top of every function, because I need it all the time, like this. But that, you just saved me an error, so that's, thank you for that. So in here I'm going to need it all the time, I'm sure. Usually just goes right at the top of every function, because I use it a lot. And locale here will go right here. So thank you for catching that, Trade Last. Good pair programming. But that's that locale is the user's locale, which lets me know what speech to grab. And then this is going to be correct response right here. One other thing I'd like to do is move this. So all of this. Nope. All of this. I can grab. if resolve words doesn't equal undefined... C Sharp, thank you for being here. Thank you for the follow. You caught me on a weird day. I don't normally dress like Bob Ross, but I did today. We just hit 250 followers earlier this week, and I made a promise that I would do that. And so now we're going to figure out what it is we're going to build towards for 500. And we haven't decided yet. If resolve words doesn't equal undefined, then I should have an else here. And this is where I should do this stuff, because I don't want to make these calls every time. I only want to do it if you get it wrong. And then this speak output should be nothing. Because if I go here, I'm going to kick you away anyway, so that shouldn't equal anything. So here's speak output. Equals that. Being more responsible about my API calls, that's good. And then... Alright. Let's make sure I didn't break anything. Yeah, this is definitely how I look. That is not the case. But man, these big curly locks, they are fun to like wiggle around and wear, but like I have all this hair on my face that I'm not used to. So yeah, this is what I look like. Somebody posted this picture for me. This is a new emote that I'll have to add to the channel of me wearing this wig. I'm really proud of what I've done today. Alright, code is deployed. Let's come here and look at this. Open scavenger hunt. Don't break. Didn't break. That's excellent. I have to wear it again if my followers drop below. Oh man, I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that you guys enjoy following me and that like we're having some fun stuff. I like being here. I'm coding anyway, and so this is just an opportunity to do it while people make snarky comments in the chat. But I'm gonna write this code today whether or not you guys are watching, so I feel like why not do it in public? Okay, so that worked. My video is still playing. Great. What else? What else do we want to do today? I didn't break anything. And now we have a bunch of other fields in my database that I can randomize. So like incorrect reprompt, please try again. I can copy this field here. We can say, give it another try. Right, just these little nuances, these little differences in speech make such a huge impact on how the skill sounds. By having all of these kinds of randomized things, I'd love to have 10 or 15 of just this statement, right? It feels like then every time you're playing the game, by randomizing all of the speech, you never feel like you're hearing the same things over and over. It makes a big difference, and this has been a huge mechanism for me to be able to do that. Do I need to click on that link and see what you guys posted on YouTube? I think I do. Or I'm going to get rickrolled. One or the other. It's just a video of me? Oh my gosh. You guys are killing me. Well, I'm glad that lives on YouTube forever with my name attached to it. That's great. You guys are the best. So C#, this is, I'm primarily writing in Node, but this is all Alexa stuff. So all of my code is written in Alexa. I'm using Visual Studio Code to do it. But what we're really doing is building an Alexa skill that has intense. And if you haven't used that before, oh, there was audio too. Goodness. Hi, I'm Jeff Blankenburg, and you're not. This is my skill, and there's lots of things you can ask me about. You guys are kidding. About my tweets. Oh, it's so funny. Okay, so back to you, C#. I have intents. These are the kinds of things that we construct for the AI, for the machine learning, to be able to understand when a user talks to Alexa, what thing should I do? What action should I take? And so I have a few different intents that sit here, and you can see, like, if I ask the user for a phone number, these are the kinds of things they might say. They might just say their phone number, or they might say my phone number is, and I capture all of this data, and that all ends up in my code back here. And so I have that same thing, this phone number intent sitting right here, and then all I do is go and grab the words that they said, the spoken phone number, and I save that to my database and do a bunch of other stuff. But ultimately, I'm using Node.js behind the scenes. This is a serverless function on AWS, but it could be on Azure or anything else. You can build this backend wherever you'd like. I don't know what Luis is. Luis. I don't know what that is. But this is how most of the voice assistants in the world work. You define a series of intents, that funnels some things to some specific code that you should write, and that's more or less what I'm doing. Yeah, it probably is very similar to Language Understanding Integration Service. I don't know that specifically, but it sounds like it's probably very similar. But what we build runs on all of the Alexa devices in the world. So when you build something here and you publish it to the world, anyone that has an Alexa device can use it, which is pretty cool. So I'm in the middle of building a scavenger hunt where people can be introduced to some puzzles and then have to solve the puzzles and tell Alexa what the answer is, and then she moves them to the next puzzle. And in a perfect world, I'll be building a skill that actually, like, you can win money. I haven't figured out yet how that's going to work, but that's one of my intentions, is to give the first people that finish all 5 puzzles each week some amount of money. I don't know what that'll be. Maybe it'll be an Amazon gift card or something. I'm not sure. But that's... Oh, okay, Trey, last perfect. Luis is like Lex. Lex is an AWS service that does all of this stuff as well. It's what Alexa was built from originally. So that's something to give a look at too. If you're familiar with Luis, you will understand Lex. All right, so we're pretty much out of time. We always end at noon on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And we're coming up on that time, so I think I'm just going to put a bow on this and call us done for right now. We're in a working state. I will go back and I will publish my code again. Finished Bob Roste. And we'll push that out. And so the only thing you really need is Node.js, JavaScript, C#. To do this kind of stuff. And this is most of what I do on my stream, so if you want to tune back in on Monday, I'll still be working on this, but I'd be happy to answer any other questions you have or help you get started. I also have, there's a video on my Twitch that might be worthwhile for you to check out. And that is... I've been doing this scavenger hunt thing for a while, but I did this, I guess, 23 days ago. And if we take this, I'll give this to you here, C#. If I can get back to my comments. This is a link to that video. All of this is free. It's not even most. Everything that we do is free, and you'll see that if you give that video a watch. But yeah, there's no cost to do any of this kind of stuff. You can incur costs, of course, if you build something really popular and your Lambda exceeds our free tier, if you're even using Lambda. But outside of that, no, there's nothing that would cost any money. And we have ways to even help you with the costs of your Lambda functions. So with that, as Jeff Nunn mentioned, stick around. He has his Voice and Robotics show coming up in a little while today. I think it's at 1 o'clock Eastern time. So thank you guys all for tuning in. Thank you for the follows. I know this is kind of goofy with the wig and everything, but it really means a lot to me that you guys are enjoying what I do here and that you keep tuning in day after day. So we will focus more time on Monday about what we should do for the goal of 500. I need to come up with a new goal that we are chasing towards, and I'm glad that you guys enjoyed Wig Day. So with that, I'm going to sign off. Thank you guys all for tuning in, and let's shoot for 500 by the end of May. Awesome? Okay. Take care, everybody.